Hello everyone, and I'm back. It's been a long time since I continued my book tour of my book collection. Yeah. So this is the second, was it the second? Well, the third, but the second one, it looks like this short bookshelf, which goes down 4 shelves. And it has some large and some paperback mixed on here. Usually I put my newer books that come in that's to be read type of books, unless they're my fantasy and stuff, which I usually take down my horror and my manga and stuff like that. So a lot of these are my older books that have been read, but like these first few here are some of the newer ones that I showed in a past video of. It was one of my bulk book haul videos. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the tour. Okay, so first up is the Lord of the Rings official movie guide. So this has a lot of different movie scenes in it, and then talks about the actors and the roles that they play in the movie. So that's generally what this book covers, which I thought was cool. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so having this would not be surprising. And then the funny thing about the last video I put up, not the last one, but the first one for the shorter shelf that looks like this one, I thought I only had just those few of these from this specific book collection, but apparently I have more, and I thought I lost them because I moved multiple times with so many books. It can happen. But anyway, we'll get to those in a minute. So these are my other new type, it's a Japanese magazine I don't think it's around anymore. This is back when I was like a early 20s teenager as well, when I was into this magazine specifically. It used to come with anime DVDs and stuff, which I did have a few over on my other shelf that I did in another video. So this is the other one. So I used to keep these type of magazines with my books because they are kind of collector based, because these aren't even around anymore, so you can't even get them. And this over here is volume 12, volume 1, which has Evangelion on this version. Volume 1, volume 3, which I think I had 2 of volume 3s. I think there was a volume 3 on the other shelf. Volume 2, here, Full Metal Alchemist. Volume 4, and volume 11. So I believe I had about 12 volumes, and the other ones in between these numbers are over another shelf that I originally showed. May have a few more somewhere else, but yeah, I think about 12 volumes I had, because I think I had a subscription for about a year, and it was a monthly magazine at the time. So anyway, all right, moving on to the next book in that series of the Enchanted World. This one is dwarfs, so the whole book is situated around that. So dwarfs and stuff related to dwarfs. So like this is a sampling of dwarf types. So you'll see in the book the art, stuff like that. So again, this book collection is really cool. If you search them online, you might find them, but they are not easy to come by. Which, yeah. So the next one is Water Spirits. Just another cool one. So you can find out about the different types of water spirits, rates of wind and wave. So again, this whole series is super cool and rare. Next, we have The Secret Art. So this is based around magic, obviously. Ghostly replicas. So it's a lot of different stuff in here. A lot of knowledge and a lot of fun information. And then we have The Lore of Love. This has like warlocks in that one. Talking about warlocks, I guess some of the power. And then it does go different cultures as well. So like one part has Persian and different parts of the world, Aztec, as you can see. So it's really a cool volume, The Lore of Love. So I think that's awesome. All of these in this collection is really, really good. So this series is really good. And then we have The Legend of Valor. And they changed the color of each one, as you can see. Next is, and final one of this one is the Magical Justice. So Magical Justice. So you could get the gist of what that might actually be about. See, other different cultures and their lore and history and fantasy. So again, awesome set. All right. Then we have the Coffee Style, which I was in one of my to be read books. So this is more of a tabletop book where you're just sitting and you want to look, and it's all about different coffee styles that exist. And who can forget John Grisham? I have a lot of John Grisham books. This is one of the newer ones. A Time for Mercy. This one was gifted to me. A lot of these top ones here were on this portion, like from here to here. This is Rainbow Milk, a novel by Paul Mendez. And I did talk about this one in my last book haul video. So if you want to hear about that, check it out. And we have The Idiot, which this one is by I believe is it a Russian or German author? I'm gonna have to look because this was translated from its original text. Russian, yes. And that's why the name is like Fyodor Dost. I always mess these up. Dostoevsky. So it is Russian, and it was translated from its original language. I did not get a chance to read that one yet. Next up is Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Dandler. National bestseller, all around the world bestseller. Then we have the Penderwicks on Gardam Street by Jenny Birdsall. She won the National Book Award for this one. That must be cool to win. Another Kevin Cussler novel, and Graham Brown in this case, The Rising Sea. Which I have quite a few of Kevin Cussler's books. Kent Follett, A Place Called Freedom. I had a little clip video on TikTok about how you know you've made it as an author when your name is bigger than the title of the book. So, shout out to you, Ken Follett. Or Follett. All right. Then we have a audio book here, Lean In, Women Work and the Will to Lead. So that's a nice, sounding inspirational, motivational type of thing. And of course, who could forget the dictionary? Very important to have. I love reading a dictionary. I've read the entire dictionary before, growing up, because it was on those things we just did in our family. So, yeah. But it's kind of like awesome when you read the dictionary by choice. Not forced to do it. It makes your vocabulary very wide and broad indeed. All right. Oh, this is a really heavy one. Slide it back in there. It's a really heavy one. All right. So now to the second shelf. And we're going to do 2 shelves in this video. So let's move on down. All right. And so here we are at the second shelf for this tour. And right at the gate, you see these shelves aren't overly wide. I can get them in one shot. And all hardback books on this one. And so is on the next one. Mostly there's a lot of hardbacks on here. One that's on this shelf that I can't keep there because it'll block the view is in one of my unopened sets for George R.R. Martin's The Game of Thrones series. This is a 5-book set, as you can see. A Dance with Dragons, A Feast for Crowns, A Storm of Swords, A Clash of Kings, and The Game of Thrones. So that is a set, one of my unopened sets of that. All right, and moving on to the shelf. Now this is also, this is a collection of different authors. So this is like an anthology. And it includes a new Game of Thrones story by George R.R. Martin. So he is featured in this book with a bunch of other authors. It's edited by Gardner Douzes. And you can see all the different authors that is in this specific book called The Book of Swords. Okay, so next book up is, put this back in place, is Daniel Silva, The Messenger. This is by a novel by author of Prince of Fire, if you know what that one is. And the John Grisham book, The Client, which I have a paperback version of that too somewhere, I believe. Why people keep sticking stuff between my books. Circle of Three by Patricia Gaffney. And then we have Patricia Cornwell, Black Notice. Interesting book cover. Of course, Noah Roberts, Black Hills. Stephen King, The Dark Half. Elizabeth Peters, Guardian of the Horizon. Cradle and All by James Patterson. Next is Sidney Sheldon, The Best Laid Plans. That was turned upside down. Another Elizabeth Peters in that specific series, He Shall Thunder in the Sky. True Colors by Doris Mortman. In the Face of Jean, Cheryl Howard Crew. Now this is an older book. It does not have a sleeve, even when I purchased it. This one is called Red Man's America. You might be able to guess what it's about. Second, I will open it up for you. Now this specific book is about Native Americans. If you did not get from the title, this shows a map inside. And it goes over some of the Native American tribes that is in that area. I really don't care for this right here, North American Indian languages. We are not Indians. Of course, if you have not been on my channel that long, then you won't know that I am Native American. Half Native American from my DNA analysis, and my father was Native American. I'm Native American from my mother's side, and yeah, so I'm kind of very sore on the subject when people use Indian. There was a reason why we were called Indians. We are not actually Indians, North American or otherwise. So that's a bit of a sore subject still to this day. Anyway, so going through this book. This is an older book. If you don't know about the title, Red Man's America, is because we were, racistly called red skinned, just like, other races of people who have the racist titles and words used against them. And red skin would be a racist term, hence why the name of the book. So I bought this used at, I think, a thrift store years and years ago. It says here, A History of Indians in the United States. Really bothers me every time I say that. By Ruth Mary Underhill. And it has illustration inside. I believe this book is 1953. And then since the ninth impression was in 1967 of this book, so it has different, let's see, when you get into the book, it has some illustrations and different Native American tribes that section covered, of course. So yeah, so that's what this book is. I usually go into detail about some of the insides of the books when they don't have sleeves. So all right, last book on the shelf. This is published in association with the National Air and Space Museum. This is Smithsonian Intimate Guide to the Cosmos, which, if everyone knows me as well on here, that I love science, so space is always interesting. And this is a really cool book. When you find out things have some illustration on the inside, such as this page here, which is really cool. So if you're into Cosmos, this is a really awesome book by Dana Barry. So yeah. Alright, and that will complete the book tour for this video. We did these two shelves here, plus that Game of Thrones unopened set. And I will see you in the next one. Happy reading.